Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in to the second episode of Confluence 2.0, a conference aimed to influence. Continuing the saga of the Smartest Alumni Talk Show, firstly, I would like to thank everyone for their tremendous support in making episode 1 successful. We hope that it has helped in increasing your knowledge and made it easy to understand from the perspective of our previous alumnus. Today, I would like to welcome our next alumnus, that is Mr. Ashish Bhushan Srivastava, from the graduating class of 2017, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. For the note, Sir is currently appointed as an engineer in the famous Powergrid Corporation of India, with his area of expertise focused on power systems. He was also a student intern at NFC, Nuclear Fuel Complex, and was the training and placement coordinator of NIT Sikkim. We are delighted to have you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ronak.
Yes, sir.
It's very good to meet our juniors. Thank you for calling me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We are really honored for such a presence. So, before we get into any further questions, I would like to request you that could you please give us a brief about your current job scenario?
Yeah, so I'm posted as engineer. Earlier it was assistant engineer, so some pay scale changes in power grid and some level changes. It changes to engineer. So I started working in O&M first, operation and maintenance of substation, and then line maintenance. And currently I'm working in a project. There's a project called Comprehensive Scheme of Sikkim, uh, which is owned by Power Department, Government of Sikkim, but it's executed by Powergrid, and I'm currently working in this sector. And we have to construct transmission lines and substation. We have to construct too many lines, 29 number of lines in Sikkim and 19 number of substations in Sikkim. And currently, I'm working in this project only.
Okay, so that is a really great thing, sir. I wish that you would be successful in that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yes, sir. So moving on with the next question. So I would like to ask you that like you are working in a power grid, and that's a really famous corporation. So what is it like to work in a power grid? Like, what is the working environment at power grid?
So basically, like all the companies, Powergrid has so many departments. You have O&M department, you have C&M department, contracts department, you have finance department, you have projects department. So there are corporate offices, there are regional offices. So being in regional offices, being in corporate offices, it is like 9 to 5 job. But being in site, we are posted at site only, and we are given quarters in the site only. So we have to work for 24 hours. You have heard about this in COVID, COVID warrior. So we are also like a COVID warrior. So we 24 hours we live in substation only, and like any time if line is tripped or anything, any mishap happened, so we have to take up that thing, and we have to just maintain, and we have to just continue make the system reliable and recontinue the system. So we are like a COVID warrior only. So
Okay, sir.
that's
That is I think I wish you all to be healthy, and that is a really great thing you are doing us for. So I think that's a really great explanation about how you are doing your job. So moving on to the next question, uh, I have read about you, and I have asked my peer mentors. So they said that you have done some really interesting internships, as I earlier mentioned in NFC and many previous internships. So could you give us a little information about how did you apply to those internships? Because as a second year member or a third year member, I would suggest that I would also want to apply to those internships. So could you just guide me a bit?
so basically I interned in NFC Nuclear Fuel Complex Hyderabad and ICF Integral Coach Factory Chennai. So basically in NFC we went through actually one of our guests was there from that field only in Abhiyantran. So he gave us the opportunities, and like through TNP only we gave the name, and they shortlisted our names, and I think they shortlisted by CGPA through CGPA, and we went to NFC, and in ICF I think I've went through a source of my friend. One of my friend is Sampunan Misra, so he has some sort of connection there, and so we four went there. Me and my batch topper was there, Dhiren Patra, and Sambuna and one girl was there. So we went to ICF. So in both of the places, like in NFC, we went. They get us to visit like their substations in substations only. The transformers and everything. Transformers was there, and capacitor banks were there. And in ICF also we there was the coaches were made in ICF, like the coaches, the train coaches and all were made there. So there also they take us through that instruments and things. So how the power system, how the power is how the power is mainly used in ICF coach factories. So they take us through that.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. So, adding up to our questions, I would just like to ask that, so, sir, you are working in a Powergrid again. So, would we get any internships from Powergrid? Is there any chance on that?
Yes, sir. Yes. You must have heard about like two of your batches. Two of the batches were there. I think in 18 or 19. Both the years, two batches came to Power Grid, and one or two of them from that batches got placed also. I think three batches came in Power Grid. So my
Okay.
just immediate junior and then the next junior, they came to intern in Power Grid only. So they were interning it, I think, Rangpo, Samardung, Power Grid. So it's very easy. You can contact one or two persons of or any of our batch. It can be me or my juniors only. So we can recommend your names to the HR and they can do that. I think they must be having some limited seats, so they must be filtering out by CGPA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the next question is, so as we all know that you are one of the TNP coordinator. So what are your experiences as a TNP coordinator?
So basically, I was very much interested in cultural things. So I was cultural coordinator also. I in Udgam and Abhyantran, I worked as a cultural coordinator. So I had a bit edge on other people like can in managing things. So if you have to manage public, you have to manage the artists and everything. So I had an edge over that thing. So our Nitri Party sir picked me for that thing only. So bringing corporate people, and taking care of their everything, every requirement, like what TNP they will require and what other stationaries they will require. So I worked like in that part only. So I was working behind the scenes, but it was a
Yes.
good experience.
Yes, sir. So adding to that point, so we all know that working in a cell and or any other clubs, it gets really handy. And so how did you manage all those things? How did you manage your academics and your cell works?
What I've heard from my juniors and all, like you people have your syllabus and curriculum has been changed, and like you people have classes from like morning to evening. So it was not like that in our times, and we were able to get some times. We were able to manage some times, and the best part was that Ranjan Tripathi sir used to manage the things very well. He was very much to the scheduled man. So he fixed two or three meetings in a week, and we were able to join that meetings, and we did very good. That, that's it.
Okay. Yes, sir. So that I think everybody should learn from that, and I think it's not that really hard, as you explained, to manage time for extracurricular activities. So, moving on to that questions. So, I would like to ask questions about your projects related to a project. So, we all know that in engineering colleges, all the students need to do project works in their final years or in third year. So what are your views about the importance of project?
No, I think projects are very important. Very important. I mean, wherever you go, wherever you in whichever field you'll go, this projects, doing the sort of project and the mentality with what you did that project is, it will come handy to you. because like what I did the project related to that solar power, connection of how the renewable energy will be connected to grid, because in the near future everything would be changed to EVs. Like you have heard about EVs. So now
Yes.
in near future all the vehicles and every sort of vehicles will be changed to EVs. So we'll come up with EV charging stations and everything. So how will connect the renewable energy to the grid, because renewable energy is not kind of sinusoidal and everything. It has very much fluctuations and everything. So how to make that how to stabilize that voltage or that current. So I did the project related to power electronics, and I'll say key projects are very important. And do take the project like what means connected to the future or connected to the upcoming times. If it will be helpful, then it will be very good for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, so adding to that question, so like if someone is from third year or second year, so what advice would you like to give to those people who are like in pursuit of a new project idea? So what kind of projects do you think that we should make? Is there anything you want to add up to it?
No, I think related to power electronics, you must do related to power electronics. Actually, what we used to study is conventional things. We learned about instrumentation and everything. So that was conventional. We used to, electromechanical relays and everything. We learned about that part. But now, what is coming in the industry is that the electromechanical relays or conventional relays are obsolete. Now, what is coming up is numerical relays. That all or everything is coded. Everything is coded. So we should study instrumentation for the theory part, but we should learn microprocessor, microcontrollers, and power electronics for the newer technology that are coming up in the industry. So I must suggest that people should learn power electronics and microprocessor, microcontrollers.
Yes, sir. So, so adding to that question, so I would like to ask us one more similar question related to that. So, as we all know, like right now in IT sector or in a core field, so most of the people are trying to get into IT sector rather than the core field. So, like if a student who is interested in core field, so should he prepare for gate and do higher studies, or should he do project ideas and go for a job?
It should depend totally on person, I'll say. Uh, so I can't be a very specific. There should not be a specific answer for this. Uh, if a person has really the person has really some interest in IT field, then he must go in the IT field, because in IT what is there is if you not learn, you will not grow. Not in IT, in every field it is there. If you not learn with time, you will not grow. But in IT field or in private field, it is mandatory. It will come. So you have to learn with time. If you don't have interest, then you must not go to the IT field. And if you are really interested in your field, your core field, so you should try for gate. You should go for gate, or you should go for higher studies. And you should go for higher studies, and you should settle like that in your interest only.
Yes, sir. So, thank you for the clarification. Now, so I would like to ask a person, question related to my field, my genre. So, I'm kind of interested in core fields. So, I would like to take up on a job in core fields. So, could you give me a scenario of what are the job fields in a triple E department or in your power systems? Could you just give us a brief about that?
So I'll say is if I'll talk about Powergrid, then Powergrid was formed in 92, 93 somewhere. So what were the initial recruits or initial employees? They are retiring. Most of them are retiring in these years only, recent years only. So Powergrid must be coming up with huge vacancies in the next 2 or 3 years. So you must aspire for Powergrid also, and there are other field also, and you must have learned about. Renewable EVs are coming up. So just recently, Powergrid has got a bid to set up EV charging stations in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. So you can explore that field also. And core, if you'll if you want to really go for core and PSUs or government jobs, then you must aspire for GATE or thing. But there are other fields also. There are private companies. L&T is also there. L&T there is L&T has different departments, and if you really want to work in core field, then you can go to L&T also. That sector, power segment, what segment they have related to power, so you can go for L&T also. There are many different companies also. Adani is also, Tata is also. So that must be through TNP. I don't know. Adani's Tata didn't come in our time. If you people try, then they can come, because Adani's and Tata's are getting most of the projects they are getting, solar projects and near coming of transmission projects also Adani's Tata's are getting. So they must be also they also will roll out many vacancies. So you can try that thing also.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the explanation. So, sir, as I'm in third year right now, and when I was in second year, and most of the students, so they get a lot of confusions regarding choosing a field, whether to choose a core field, or whether to choose what topic should we study, or whether should we go in an IT sector, or should we do coding. So was it the same scenario with you? Like, was it same confusion with you, or you are so sure about that you have to choose the core field?
For me, I'll say I was very sure I'll go in core only, because I didn't have any interest in coding enough. So firstly, I was placed in L&T, and then I finally got placed in Powergrid. So for me, it was an easy task. But I don't think you people should keep yourself limited. I mean, if you get any spare time, anything, you should learn anything. Matlab, what I feel guilt is I had so many spare times. I had much spare time in college, and I didn't use that time in proper fashion, proper manner. I mean, one of the quote I have read somewhere. I don't know the exact quote, but whatever you do, whatever you learn in your life should come handy to you in some or other part of your life in any time. So you should use your spare time like in the most proper fashion. You can do anything. You can learn anything. For me, I learned a guitar actually. I learned an instrument in college, but I could have learned more instruments. I could have learned a new language, verbal language, new computer language, anything. So you should not keep yourself limited. But the target should be target should be fixed. I mean, I have to go. If I am in core field, but if I would have learned coding or anything, it must be coming. Matlab, that should be that will come handy in my project also, my this field also, because we have numerical relays there here, and we have everything is nowadays is anyhow connected to coding. So if I had learned it that time, so it must have helped me right now. So you should not keep yourself limited. You should use your time in any useful fashion, I'll say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, one more question to that job-related field. I would like to ask is when we go for a job or an internships, so we have to give interviews even after selection of our shortlistings. So we face a lot of nervousness and we face a lot of danger, especially me, sir. I would like to mention that. I get really nervous on an interview. Most of us do. So, how did you face that when it was your first interview?
So facing an interview is also an art, I'll say, because any interviewer, any company, any corporate that will come, the interview panel must be having a set of questions. They must be having some set of questions. So, any lot, any for any candidate, one other question will come from that set. So, what the as an interviewee, I mean, if I am a candidate there, so if I'm giving interview, then I have to take that interview panel in my direction, in my field. Like if I have, let's say, if I am very much, if I'm very much, uh, so if I'm very much enriched with transformers, let's say. So I'll take that interview, and if interviewers ask any question, like let's say I'm very much interested in power systems. So if an interviewer asks me, what are the things you have seen in a substation? Name them in order. Name them in order. So I'll name surge arrestor is there, PT is there, isolator is there, CT is there. Then lastly I'll say bus, because if I'll say bus it will work. If I'll not say bus it will also work. So if he will hear bus, then he will ask, do you know bus? What bus is? So I'll say bus is this. So you know how many types of buses there. So this is a way of giving interview. You have to take that interview panel in your field. You have to attract that man in your field. So you have to keep some sort of any clingy words, some attractive words in your answer, and then you will got shifted to your place. In my interview also, I took the interview to the PLCC and wave trap part. I just mentioned PLCC, and he asked me the same question in what you have seen in substation and what is the first instrument that is connected there. So I answered surge arrestor, and then I answered wave trap and PLCC also I mentioned. So he heard PLCC word, and then he asked, what is PLCC? Do you know anything about it? So I've just learned everything about that thing, and I just answered everything. And that interviewer got attached in my field, and then I answered almost 80% of questions there. So he just shifted to the he ended with the technical part, and then he asked some normal sort of questions, and then and I was confirmed with in the end of interview that I am the person who's going to be selected for that. So yeah, I'll say interview is an art. You should learn. You should practice it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think that's how we should handle an interview. So, when you are in like in our college, NIT Sikkim, so I must find that though our college is not that comparatively, but everyone has some memory to it. So, what is your fondest memory of NIT Sikkim, of your college?
The fondest I'll say is in 4 years we changed three hostels. We changed to three hostels, and first year in BS10, then we came to the one hostel near that rock. That time it was BS2, I think, and then we shifted to that backside, the mess side, that mess side hostel. And then I'll say ki I'm a very I am a kind of person who is very much interested in cultural things. So then every time, every event, the people. I mean, the the man who is supposed to do the cultural part, or who is supposed to coordinate cultural part, I was there. So the best fond of memories I'll say is last Udgam, I'll say, because in last Udgam I managed to win 4 or 5 events. Actually, I was an 18 idol also, and I won dumps awards also. I won the I think tug of war also, and two other games. So I'll say after placements, and I was very much. I mean, I was free of. I had no tensions anything, and in the last Udgam I won so many competitions. So that I'll say is the best of the memories.
Yes, indeed, that is a really great memory. So, so one or two questions I would like to ask as in a student perspective. So, would you like to give any advice or some words of inspirations for the students who are going to watch this video?
I must say that the Sikkim NIT Sikkim's curriculum has been changed, and so many subjects have been changed. So I'll say that people should learn the subjects also. They learn their curriculum also, and they should spare some time for them also. They should work for their personality development also, and they should work. They should learn something about. Outer field also. If you're learning about something GS part, if you're learning about a new language or anything not related to your subject, then it will be very helpful, I'll say. Because for concerning me also, taking me also, the whatever other things I've learned in the college, they are coming handy now in my in job life. So I'll say, please do use your spare time for some productive works, and it will be interesting also, entertaining also, and it will come handy to you also in the life. And for project part, I'll say kindly do the project very seriously. Uh, Kindly come to the if you're not getting the results, it will not it doesn't don't take it to your mind also, but do go in deep, do learn in deep, because what is happening, why I'm putting a diode there, why I'm putting a transistor there. Learn the basics, go to the basics, like what the transistor will do or what the diode will do. So don't just mug up and come up with the diagram and come up with the circuits and all. go to the deep. If you learn the behind part, it will be helpful. If you not get results, okay, that's fine. But you have to learn it from behind. What is working? What the functions that role that part is that the capacitor or that diode is playing in the circuit. You have to learn. You have to kindly learn that thing.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So, since we collected a query form before we sent the mail for this Confluence, so there are some queries from the students, and the query number one is: suppose I am a third year student and I want to get the same positions as you are. What will be the steps to do so, provided I have the basic triple E concepts?
So I don't know. We are not supposed to get any information regarding if Powergrid is going to do a campus or not. But if Powergrid comes to a campus, then the simplest way is to get in through that campus. But if you are not able to make that thing, or if Powergrid is not coming to a campus, then the second thing is through gate. Thirdly, Powergrid also put out vacancies regarding to experiences also. So if you worked in L&T, if you worked in Adani, Tata also, so there are parallel. What is a sort of word for that thing? They do parallel recruitment or something. So that is only interview based. You must have some experience in this pay scale in some power related company only. So if you are if you join L&T power sector, and if you Adani, Tatas and other, there are Sterling and Wilson, and there are many companies. So if you work in that pay band, and if you work in power sector, then there are also vacancies rolled out with Power Grid. That is interview based, experience based. You can get in Power Grid through that also.
Yes, sir. So, so one of the questions is from my side. So, I would like to ask sir, that you mentioned some projects ideas and about related projects. So those ideas are more of a practical basis. And as we are in this pandemic and we are not able to get the proper instruments and proper design materials, so what do we do to like design a project online? Can you suggest some simulations or some other way?
Yeah, simulations are a good way. I mean, there are so many simulation software. I mean, we did a project in an FC also based on simulation only. So we didn't got any instruments or anything there. So the teacher was there, and he gave us a project, and we did everything on simulation basis. And if we submitted the report on the simulation basis. So simulation is the best, the second best way. If you're not able to get the instrument, then you can do the simulations.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. So the next question is from one of our students, and he asks, like, could you please give a brief campus placement preparation from Tripoli?
Okay. So, Tripoli, like what I'll say is, I was placed in three companies. First, I think I was placed in Tech Mahindra, and then L&T, and then Power Grid. So, Tech Mahindra also they didn't ask anything related to IT. They asked normal FT questions only. They what they asked me like they asked me like Pythagoras theorem or something. So they relate to some maths basic aptitude only. So I'll say ki in Tripoli, not only in Tripoli, if you are for any branch, if you're any branch, must have basic aptitude. You must have to learn the basic aptitude. So kindly work on your aptitude part. So they're supposed to have a book. I don't remember the author. So there's a book, something Sarma, I don't know. So you must practice on that book. The normal questions, if you have given some like we used to have JND exams, so the normal aptitude questions that are asked in that exam, the same are asked in the any companies. So like in LNT and Tech Mahindra, both are like FT. The written exam was purely aptitude based, and for Power Grid, it was like filtering. They filtered out through a CGPA, and then they took our interview. Directly they took our interview. So I'll say it is based on company to company. You'll get to learn what is that company will go to ask when will be going to ask in the aptitude. So most of the companies in our times, they ask normal aptitude questions. So if you are going for some core IT companies, then they'll ask related to coding. So I didn't sat in any of that IT exams. So.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, uh, moving on to the next question, we have uh, the person says, "I like power system part of electronics and electrical engineering. So, could you please suggest some projects on the same?"
So I'll say like I mentioned in the starting of the interview only, like uh, there are the industry, the power industry is changing with time, and in the next 10 or 15 years, you must have learned about smart cities and smart projects. So you can take some project in related to smart city or thing, or you can take up some project related to renewable energy also.
Yes, sir. So, moving on to the next question. So, the question is from my side. So, I would like to ask that. As we tend to move on with life, we make a lot of mistakes. So, is there anything, any mistakes you made in your college, and you want to go back in time, and you want to say to your younger self that please don't make this mistake? So, is there anything such?
Yeah, I was very impatient. I was very impatient, and in many times I did like some mistakes in what to say in just out of mind and out of control. I did so many things. So I'll go if I will get a chance and go back to college, then I will make myself more what to say. Uh, I'll try to be I'll try to do more yoga and kind of sort of things. So I'll make myself more patient and things. So I was very impatient at times, and what I'm kind of man who wants everything perfect. But life is full of imperfections, and imperfections makes you perfect. So what if I'll get a chance to go back to college? So I'll try to do try to do I make myself more patient with it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, lastly, the last question is please give us the views and some suggestions regarding the conference we are doing, the Conference 2.0, the Alumni Talk series. So, do you have any suggestion for us, or do you have any reviews you would like to add?
No, I'll just say that you people are doing a great job. So in our times, we're not able to use the sort of things you are using. I mean, the social media and everything. They are kind of a boost in present times. So we are not able to use that things in a proper fashion. And now the our batches, you people are doing it in a kind of very much, I mean, bigger way and what creative way. So it is very good, and it is. I mean, I'll say keep continuing this thing, and for feed, you are doing good only. So I don't have any feedback for that thing. I don't have any suggestions. Your people are doing good.
Thank you so much, sir. That's really good to hear. So, finally, we come to an end of this session, and I take this occurrence to thank our alumnus, that is Mr. Ashish Srivastava, and
Thank you, Ronak.
yes, sir. And I must remark a proficient sense of gratefulness to all the thoughts you have given to us today. And thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your thoughts and your experiences to make our platform more vigilant to our students. And it has been our tribute to host all the members and all these audience who are going to watch this. And I'm thankful to all the participants for their support and their cooperation and in making this previous event successful. And I hope that this series will also get a successful remark. And I would like to extend all the thanks to our teachers and a special mention to our Venerable Dr. Dharanjit Tripathi, sir, for being the catalyst that inspired us to do our best and stand as a pillar of power. And I would also like to extend my thanks to all of our senior members who have helped us through organizing such a great event. And it is not possible to thank everyone for such an appreciating involvement. And lastly, but I would like to thank all the organizing committee, my colleagues, and my peer mentors for guiding us and for helping us to create this event. So, finally, thanks to everyone for adorning the occasion and sharing their opinions today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronak. If I'm supposed to, then I will wish everyone a happy Raksha Bandhan also.
Yes,